welcome. Oh my lord, okay. Let's reel this in. I'm gonna do a little bit of stream of consciousness. What do you mean do a little bit of stream of consciousness? You always do a little bit of stream of consciousness. You ever just kind of think for a while? Sometimes I do. Not when I'm here though. You know, a lot of the times I really think about what it is that I'm supposed to do. What it is that I'm meant to do, right? That's kind of how we believe ourselves to be. And in that sense, what drives me to do. And all these different aspects of, I guess we could just say, my being. I think about it. I feel compelled to write. I feel compelled to see as deeply as I can everything happening around me. I feel compelled to understand people on the deepest level that's possible. And I feel compelled to help people. But then of late I feel compelled to help myself. I feel compelled to know myself as deeply as I can. And I feel incredibly compelled to unravel everything within me and push it out. And that's kind of been where I've been for a while. And it's wrapped inside of the incredible amount of work I've been putting into writing this entire mythology. And when I lay the mythology out as a timeline and say the creation of the universe all the way up and through time into where the books begin, there are different psychological points of myself that I'm exploring in each one of them. And each one of them is connected to a mythological belief, a psychological belief, an emotional belief, a therapeutic experience. But it's all inside of that. For instance, the Forgotten series is the beginning of my exploration of my doubt and all the conflicting parts of myself, and why every time I come to a realization, every time I think I know something, I always doubt myself. You know? I always go like, I'll read like some sort of philosophy, or I'll read something and I have this idea of it. And then I'm always like, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if I should feel that way. I always have this fucking doubt. You know, who am I to say, right? If I'm reading something of Francis Bacon here, or Nietzsche, or even like people that are in the psychological community like Carl Jung, if I have an idea of what I think they're saying, I'm like, I think he's kind of driving at this. Or I'm reading an alchemical book and I see a certain image, and I see in that image something that I think it might be. I'm like, I think I know what this image is trying to convey. There's always that doubt, like, well, I don't know though. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Who am I to know? And I always stop myself to really understand myself, because I'm too afraid to make a fucking statement. I can say all the easy stuff. I can, like, every video here, I'm just saying all this easy stuff that anybody could say. This childlike philosophy where I'm just saying a bunch of fucking things, but like, do I really believe it? And that's like a big struggle that I've had with doing that. It's just a huge struggle for me. So that's that series, is exploring the doubt and exploring all the aspects of myself. I use the term archetypes of my being, played out, and seeing what they'll tell me, you know? It's not, I don't have a fucking game plan in that story, you know? It's just happening. And even I'm sitting here when I finish the script and I you know, do the recording of the voices and shit, I'm like, well, fuck, I didn't know that was coming. Now what? And in between each episode is long bouts of months of me just sifting through, like, what the fuck just happened, and what can happen, and what should happen. So in some sense, I'm allowing freedom for my subconscious, like therapy, to go somewhere. And then when that episode ends, I have to go through it psychologically and say, what the fuck is that saying? And where do I want it to go? How do I heal the process? I have to take control of this self-exploration. Does that make any sense? It's like allowing your subconscious to just bleed it out is episode of each Forgotten series, and then I have to sit there and go behind it and read it all and analyze it and say, okay, this is what I think it's saying. Now what? And so I have to and then from that point, I take control of it. I'm taking myself out of doubt. I'm like Dove. I'm trying to fucking rebirth myself. Another set of stories that happens thousands of years later is the story of Ravian. The story of this guy who is following the will of the prophecy as he always believed it was, because that's what God came and told him. But then all of a sudden, when he comes to that door with all the people behind him, he's barred. Imagine like being Moses, right? And you're leading the people through the desert and you're taken to this place, and all of a sudden you find out you're not the fucking one. Or maybe you are. You just don't know what you are. You're like, I feel like I'm supposed to do something because that's what God said, but I don't know what that is. And I thought this was it, and I committed fucking 30 years to it, and apparently that's not it. Now what? And it's just like, oh, fuck. You know, like one of those moments. The story goes about 300 more years in the future, and that's the story of this young boy coming to manhood. It's the story of this kid growing up in this safe environment. All of a sudden the illusions are shattered. He's tossed out into the world, and he has to figure out who the fuck he is and what the hell's going on, and everything around him falls the fuck apart. All of civilization, all of his friends and family, all of the concepts he's believed, all just fall away. And he has to figure out what the fuck to do inside of that. The stories keep going on, right? There's a lot of his son has his own stories, and this project will take me the rest of my life because it's so ambitious. We're talking a lot of history here. Those are 3 fucking stories I told you. You know how many are inside of that? We're talking a couple thousands of years, a different set of stories that I have to focus on. But for a long time, it was hard for me to make this stuff because I'm like, how do you do something so ambitious like this? And it just took me a long time to say, this is the inner depths of your mind. I remember being asked, like, people are like, you're creating a mythology? Like, what does that even mean? And I always have to say, like, it started literally with me going like, well, how does one write a story? And it ended with me here right now saying the mythology is a representation of a human psyche. That's all it is. It's being explored. And we live in a very interesting time because we're this post-psychological evaluation out of the 1800s. You think of like, and going into the 1900s, you think of like Freud and Nietzsche, who's a philosopher I know, and I forgot that one guy's name, Joseph Bauer, something like that. You think of later on Carl Jung. Like, we took this belief and then they ran it, and now we have therapy and psychology as we understand it today coming out of this mystical experience where when you go inward. And I'm not claiming that like that's exactly what everyone's ever done in history with mythology, but to me, as Joseph Campbell kind of helps me see, mythology is created to help mankind. And in some sense, I wonder, does that mean that it is mankind? I had this really weird thought, like 2 days ago. I was driving home from work. I think I was driving home from work. And I was thinking about the story of Moses a little bit. And I was comparing God to a man. Like, that's such a man thing to do. He's like, I'm a jealous God, and if I find out you're with other gods, I'll be mad about it. And how he was just killing people, you know, in the story of Exodus, like the part where, you know, the plagues that were put on Egypt and all that, like just killing innocent people that just happened to be nearby, right? And I was musing like how fucking bullshit it would be if I'm just sitting here now and I'm just part of a problem and all of a sudden I have to die. I just thought to myself, like, that's so fucking stupid. That's so messed up. That's a person. That is not a god. I can't imagine a god being so fucking petty. You know, if he's supposed to be all-knowing, why is he doing humanistic shit? right? That was what I was musing. And what triggered that truly was, I don't remember where it's at, but I just know, like, you know, God just wants your love. He wants your, he wants you, right? He wants to be understood by you. He wants to be heard, or, you know, any aspect of what God wants from you specifically. You name it, and that's what he wants. And it just dawned on me, like, well, I fucking want that too. We're no different. I want the exact same things that he wants. I want to be realized the same way. I want to be cared about the same way. I want to be thought of the same way. And I want people to see who I fucking am. And I said, we're no different. And then I connected that with the saying of Jesus somewhere, where he's like, God's within you. And I'm like, no shit. Yes, he fucking is. And I connect that to these like Eastern ideas of the deity of yourself. And then I connect that with the archetypes of my being different aspects that lead to a source. And the source is, a lot of times people just say he is God, or an aspect of him, or a place of his being, or like the cauldron of life or something. Like, it's just like maybe he made it, who knows? Like, it's something of his, let's say. I call it God's toolbox sometimes. I call it his cauldron. The waters of creation sometimes too. And I say, well, I connect all these things, and then I just look at my own mythology and I say, well, that's the alchemical process. That's fucking it. Because, like, what is alchemy? Like, that, it's just like I'm creating within my own mythology the new way to God. And not for, like, you know, I'm not doing it like, and by the way, this is going to be a new religion. I want everyone to worship me and shit. Like, no, no, no. It's my personal religion to God, is what I'm trying to say. Others may read it if they'd like to and watch the videos of the Forgotten series, but that's fucking for me. Guarantee you most of the views on each one of those videos, a lot of it's from me, because I watch it, because I enjoy the fucking shit out of it. I'm doing everything here for myself. Do you think I don't watch these videos like I'm doing right now? I do. I listen to myself a lot, to learn about myself a lot, to get to the point where I begin to realize that coming in tune with God is coming in tune with yourself. It's one and the fucking same. And there's all these distractions of man. There's all these fucking distractions. It's just like, what's right, what's wrong? Well, that's not the correct kind of worship. That's heathenry, what you're speaking of. Or you need to worship nature more. Or no, you don't need to worship nature at all. You need to worship Jesus. You know, like everyone's just saying all this fucking shit. And I'm always like, I don't know who the fuck is right or wrong. And I'm sick and tired of having to fucking decide. Who has the most convincing argument of what I should do? Fuck that shit, dude. Like, that's kind of what I've been... You've seen these, obviously. That's what I'm slowly learning. And I'll fight things like a child. I will fight Christianity. I will fight science. I will fight any form of religion, in a sense. Or cultural things. Or I'll fight even myself. And you see it on camera. Because, goddamn it, I told you I wanted to do it the most honest I could. I'm not going to pretend like I'm Mr. High and Mighty. I'm going to show you the lowest of lows, too. But then it just started dawning on me. I go back to the Forgotten series and the doubt. Further on, Dove will have to be confronted more and more with shit he doesn't want to face. I mean, he literally is faced right now with the same realization that I have. That the creator is you and you are the creator. And he's within you. What the fuck does that mean? Does that mean I can't be that? I'm a little nothing. So I was taught. I serve society. I serve these. What are you talking? No way. I think, is what he says. But, like, I don't know. When he goes in the deepest depths of himself with the guide, and he still is just like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have these fucking mystical answers. That is the harshest fucking experience that I've ever faced in my entire life. I have to sit here and go through this, you know, like one of my sayings is in the book, like, I have to go through God like this? This is how I have to go through God? This is fucked. This is like the ultimate mind fuck, I guess. But then there's that part of me that says, yeah, but you'd have it no other way. This is the point of it. That pain, that struggle, that aching of growth is guiding you. It's aiding you. It's a struggle because it's fucking worth it. It's not to be given up on and just to like, I'm just going to go back to the Bible. You know what I mean? Or go back to whatever you fucking have. I don't know. Some people like fantasy. Some people go to their video games. Some people go to, I don't know what else. Just something. You're going to go to your, no more of this. Go back to the easy stuff. I'm just going to enjoy other people's work and not try for myself. You know? And you never begin to see how it's disenchanting you. Like, people don't realize when you're not confronting it yourself, it doesn't mean anything. For instance, I guarantee most people that call themselves communists have never even read from front to back and everything in the middle of Karl Marx. Guarantee a lot of them haven't. Don't fucking say you're something if you don't know it. Because those people are listening to a person who said something, who now they hear it. And you know how much rehearsal's inside of that until you say, well, now I'll believe it? It's in everything. I could just read this book and decide for myself what I think this man right here, Francis Bacon's saying. Or I can go, nah, I'll go on YouTube and hear someone else fucking talk about it, and then I'll just copy paste what he says, and now I believe in it. I could do that, and that's what a lot of fucking people do. You need to read the fucking sources, right? That is what I learned with realizing that we're connected to the source. That all the archetypes of ourselves are connected back to the source, and we call that God. You equate God with truth, and bada boom, bada bing, there you go. Get to the source of the idea. Francis Bacon isn't the source of all fucking knowledge, but he has his idea, and if I get to his source, it helps me keep going. Archetypes. Use people as archetypes. Don't replace your own, but just keep going. But that's what's kind of been the journey, is to see these things. It's all fucking connected. The same damn thing that you're realizing about life is the same fucking thing that's happening everywhere else. From high to low. It's all the fucking same. Why can't you begin to see that? Do you not want to see that? I don't know. It's up to you, man. Like, the thing that I've really become aware of is that myself, I've found myself to live in such a state where I've disconnected myself so much from this vessel here that I forget that I'm a part of this living world. I forget that I'm a part of this fucking body and this mind. When I do this stream of consciousness, I don't even feel like I'm here with you. And when I listen back to myself, I say, I don't remember saying 90% of that. What the fuck is that shit? And I have to decipher it. I don't know how to explain that without sounding insane. But in the process of that, it's allowed me to see the reality of it and like what consciousness really is. Consciousness, the soul, and our human vessel in the material world are three kind of, I don't necessarily want to say separate, but the three like entities, I guess, states of being. The body in the physical world is for obvious reasons. I can touch and fucking do all this stuff, make the camera work and record myself and put it on the fucking YouTube and you can see it. That's all the fucking physical part. The consciousness is that kind of thing that I can come in and out of. It's like the stream. It's like the ocean or something. But the soul is kind of like the driver of the vehicle. Right? And but there's something beyond that. And if you can separate yourself from two of those and take your soul, which I don't know, it doesn't feel like it can hold things. It feels like it's just in things. That's why when I say stream of consciousness, I'm allowing the consciousness to just regurgitate whatever's going inside of it and out of it and interpreting it and how it sees the world and all this shit. And I just take my soul away from it, and I'm like, I have a hard time knowing what the fuck's happening because it's so separate. But there's something in doing that that leads me here now to these realizations. The mythology is my soul speaking to the consciousness. The consciousness is the stream that it's creating the mythology. And my soul are the beings that I fucking put inside of the consciousness. Think of it like this. The physical part of my mythology will be the series of books, the videos of whatever's inside the world, right? The lore. That's the physical part. That's the vessel. What's the consciousness of the book? That are all the words that were poured out through the stream of consciousness. Those are all the things, the words like spoken as well. That's the consciousness of it. The soul of the mythology are the characters inside of it. Those characters are the archetypes of the mind, and those things and the characters are connected to me, the man that makes it, right? I'm a guy that wrote all this stuff and voice acted the parts. Beyond that lies the soul in which is communicating. You remember some time ago I made this video called a multi-dimensional mythology. That's it. Soul and the author, which is myself, replace us with God, as in the people that are being created inside the mythology, in this case, wouldn't, if you gave them life, would they not think I was their creator? You know what I'm saying? If let's go to another example to make it easier for you. If you read all of the Lord of the Rings, and you told Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli and all these fuckers, like, hey, J.R.R. Tolkien created the whole fucking thing. Don't tell them what he was inspired by. Just tell them he made them. Wouldn't they be like, oh, if you gave them conscience, they'd think he's God then. If he made us, he's God. Iluvatar, or whoever that was, he's like, he must just be an ascended being that's under God or something. We don't know necessarily. Wouldn't they think that? Okay, well, that's what I'm saying with my mythology. So that's what the multidimensional mythology is. It's like each aspect of God is an aspect of a soul that is in creation of said thing. So if you look at our world in the exact same lens and you say, wouldn't we think the creator is a creator? What if he's just a higher being, another sense of self, the soul trying to understand itself, and we are the beings inside of such a vessel, and we have to come to realization that we come back to this consciousness, which we call human consciousness, stream of consciousness, and unity consciousness. And beyond that, it's the soul, which is the creator, which is actually the original being that's made all of this. What's a modern example? We call this the simulation. Not a fucking simulation, it's an imagination. And you're a part of it just as I am. And we're seeking to understand our true self. Because they always say, like, we're all connected because of consciousness, right? We all are fractal aspects of God. We are all God acting in his own accord. Well, that means we're all connected to that one soul, and that's the fucking being thinking of this. And you can snap out of it and realize you're the fucking forgotten king that made all of this. Or in the series so far, you're Harius, who's made this entire fucking thing in his mind. That's all I'm trying to say with the mythology, is to look at the world in a different way. Don't see it like everyone's telling you to see it. Or, you know, okay, let me word it like this. People have their own merit to what they add to the story. Every single person adds the merit to the story. Anyone that's self-aware. Because there's a lot of people that are like in an animalistic state, I understand. Poor people and unintelligent people, like, it's not their fault, that's just the world they're in. But anyone who starts to begin to think for themselves has something to say to the story. It doesn't mean it's always good and right. Sometimes what you're adding to the story is insanity, just to add insanity's sake. This is how it is. I've accepted that I might just be adding insanities, whatever. But the point is, you have something to say that's beyond duality. So what you add to this story of this universe is beyond duality. Meaning, you could be spouting something that's complete fucking bullshit and stupid. Sounds convincing, but it's fucking stupid. But that's your part to play. Because in those words, you may inspire someone to come up with a truth. Do you know what I'm saying? In reflection from it. It's non-duality, but at the same time, it's duality. Because it's in the material plane. My point is saying, yes, there are other people saying things. Take it as it is. And the more you open your mind, we say in this place, the more you use your empathy, the more you begin to unravel it and get back to the source. The source of human consciousness is the vessel that leads you to the soul. The soul is the place in which you can uncover the fucking truth inside. And inside that truth, we say, is a place where the Creator may lie. Kingdom of heaven, as the Christians would call it. I think what Buddha Nirvana, something along those lines. Forgive me, I'm not a learned person in religion, but you know what I'm saying? Like, Hinduism probably has something too. I don't know. But my point is, religion and culture understands this source. We've all given it different words, but it's the same fucking thing. It's just your cultural way of seeing such a source, with whatever words that are cute for the culture. That's all I'm doing. That's it. That's the whole fucking point of all this. You know, why are you writing what you're writing? That's it. I'm looking for source, man. I'm looking for the source of God. I'm looking for His soul. So, because it's inside of me, and I'm just trying to what's the word? Decipher it. That's it. Why does all the mythologies talk about a fragmented God cut up into pieces to be put back together again and have its soul brought back into it? What the fuck do you think that's saying? You know what I mean? That's it. That's why mythology work, as I always keep calling it, is so fucking crucial. It's so fucking crucial. We add to the animus, that is the being, that is the vessel that will take you to the higher place. That's all the religions would say. It's just about reframing it in a way that you understand it, that has design purpose in your life. Because that life is the life that you must live in order to unravel whatever is hidden outside of you. You're looking for something, man. You're clearly looking for something. The fuck are you looking for? And then you find it. But as everything, it's within and without you. And that makes it incredibly difficult to find, because you have to find, oh Lord, you literally need to see everything outside of you in accord with everything inside of you. You have to look at the darkest parts of humanity and find reason in it and find, well, am I capable of that? You have to do that with the good too. We love doing that part. We all love talking about being Christ-like. We all love talking about that shit. Apostles and ascended beings and all. That's easy. But when you try to relate yourself to what the Christians call the devil, when you have to relate to that, and you have to find like that's in me. Not accepting that you're full of sin and you must be absolved by Christ. No, deeper than that. You have to see it inside of you to see what it says. Outside, then inside. I mean, it's tiring. I mean, look at me, like it's exhausting work. And it's lonesome and there's a lot to it, but the fucking point is, it doesn't mean like, well, because it's these negative aspects, I must give up and abandon all that because that's a sinful life and I must absolve myself and go to Christ and ask for forgiveness or whatever. I don't know what the Muslims would say or the Jews. I don't know. No, man. That's what I'm trying to say. You'll be okay. Just because it fucking hurts, just because you get an injury doesn't mean like, oh, well, I'll never get an injury again. Like, no, you're gonna, and it's okay. But I don't know. That's all I have to say about all that. I'm hoping someone finds some use in this. But the path is long, man, and it's arduous at times, but you have to do it. You've got to commit to this. It's your job to commit to this. See it through, and you will find the answers at the end. But that's it for me. Hopefully next time we can talk about a different series of events. But as of now, so the inner work begins once again.